That summer, after I made the varsity team, I actually swung at an outside pitch and I had this sharp shooting pain and I dropped straight to the ground. By my senior year, it happened again. I dropped down to the ground, an ambulance came, and I'm like, I can't move.
Today we're here with Dr. Randy. Want to just get to know him a little better. I've been working for him the past couple of years and patients always ask me, why did Dr. Randy even become a chiropractor? What brought him this way? Now he's a business owner. You want to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I've shared this story with lots of patients throughout my many years being a chiropractor. Where it started when I was 15 years old. I was really heavy into baseball. I actually made my varsity baseball team as a freshman. I was really good, but still had no idea what I wanted to do with my entire life. That summer, after I made the varsity team, I actually swung at an outside pitch and I had this sharp shooting pain and I dropped straight to the ground. This was after I was kind of told, and what my teammates did, we would take like this handful of ibuprofen before games, and yeah, it's crazy, and put like Bengay all on our arms and shoulders, and we actually thought that we were preventing damage, and unfortunately we were causing worsening harm just by covering these symptoms. 3 months go by and I'm doing rehab and all this, and I still could never really get my form back. It took me 3 months that will just get out of pain just from that alone, and everything was back on track and I went back to playing baseball. Never was as good as I was that year. By my senior year, the most important year for me, it happened again. I dropped down to the ground. I was running hills in soccer. An ambulance came and they're like, hey, we got to get this guy off the field. And I'm like, I can't move. So that week, somebody told my mom, like, hey, you should take Randy to a chiropractor. And I go there and I'm there on crutches and somebody's holding my books, to get through the high school hallways. And I go there for the first time not knowing what to expect. And I meet this guy named Dr. Pete Fredericks, and he shows me that my spine was curved. I got on this table and I got my first adjustment, and I literally jumped off and was like, what the heck? I thought he broke me. But then I also was like, oh, wow, I jumped off this table. I'm like, holy cow, this is amazing, right? Because this was just a weekend. The last time it took me 3 months. So I got off the table and I remember walking out, still a lot of pain. And I look at Dr. Pete. I remember this moment. Obviously, it's a life-changing moment. And I said, I don't know what you did or how you did that or what you really do, but I want in. And I asked him what his GPA was, and I'm like, I can achieve that. I wasn't too far away at the time. But then that's when I really took things seriously. I was back, and that week we went from being on 2 crutches, the next day 1 crutch, next day walking on my own, and by that next weekend I was actually playing again, which was pretty amazing. At age 17, 18, I dedicated my life to chiropractic ever since, and this is where I'm like, all right, I want to help people and dedicate my life towards that.
Yeah. So now that you decided that you wanted to dedicate your life to chiropractic, where'd you go from there? Was it easy? Did you find it difficult?
Yeah, I thought it would be easy. And I'm not talking from really an academic standpoint. When I got to college, I joined the college baseball team. I never threw out my back since that point, but something worse happened. I actually developed an adrenal gland disorder called Addison's disease. I think I was 19, 20 years old. I actually lost about 30 to 40 pounds, essentially on this frame that I have now. Not a huge guy. And my skin turned really bronze and I got really incredibly skinny. But the worst part was that I wasn't producing hormones that my body really needed to function. One of them was my stress management hormone, and since I wasn't producing that, my mood swings were all over the place. I was going from complete anger to depression, and unfortunately it actually wound up with me having a lot of strained relationships, and I just remember getting really depressed from that because a lot of my relationships suffered. It wasn't until I actually blacked out of consciousness for a week straight where I kind of came to a couple times where I was literally crawling on the dorm room in college to get to the bathroom to vomit and hurl. And that week, my mom came from the other side of the state, Wisconsin, where we're from, saw me like that. I was like, yeah, this isn't some food poisoning or anything like that. He's sick. We need to get him to the hospital. And that diagnosis came, and fortunately they found that, but unfortunately the so-called treatment plan was, hey, now you're going to be on moderate dosages of prednisone and fludrocortisone every single day now for the rest of your life. I was thankful for that because luckily I'm not in that Addisonian crisis, that blacking out phase anymore. Because of this, I'm just like, wow, I'm never going to be as healthy as I was before. It wasn't until, the transformation really came when I got to chiropractic school. I mean, I fell in with a really great group of friends in a really great organization called Maximize Living. That was when I met some doctors there that were talking about, chiropractic wasn't just for neck or back pain, honestly. Doctors, were saying that, hey, you have this nervous system that controls every single thing in your body. And if you do a combination of chiropractic and physical therapy, we can actually work on not just taking the pressure off the nerve, but get your body functioning better or long term. And at the time I was like, I'm kind of desperate. Really was like, okay, I'm willing to try anything at this point, because I never really even went back to play baseball after that. That was the start, honestly. I worked on correcting my spine, taking that pressure off. And then as I started to feel good, I started exercising more. And what was really crucial for my glandular issue was detoxing, do a lot of detoxes. I cut my alcohol down tremendously. I didn't do it all the way, sorry, college life. But going through this process, I was actually able to get off most of those medications at first. But now I've been off those medications for the last 9-10 years. I've recently had checks and they looked at my cortisol levels where instead of them being irregular, they were completely in the middle, smack dab normal. And this is why I do what I do. It's just that maybe somebody out there is on high blood pressure medications, or they're having troubles with asthma or allergies, and they just don't know about the power of chiropractic, which is so important for people to understand that their body was truly created to heal itself. Well, for the majority of people, if they were looking to, that they lost their health and they're trying to get it back, there is that possibility. And it starts with the master system, which is your nervous system. And that's truly why I do what I do. It's just so exciting to see when the lights really turn on in people and they see that their body has these limitations, but as long as you remove those interferences, it can heal. That's the story of why we have changed so many lives and had so many great reviews in this clinic. It all just starts with getting an x-ray, sharing that information, just like I just shared my story. And I hope people can connect with that and see themselves in that story and know that, hey, they're not alone.
Is there any advice you'd like to give to somebody who maybe just started chiropractic school or is interested in becoming a chiropractor?
But when it comes to chiropractic, if somebody's interested in becoming a chiropractor, my first thing would be just keep your options open. When you go to chiropractic school, there's 30 different ways to move a bone. There's different techniques. My advice would be try to learn it all. Try to take it all in. Might be a little overwhelming to learn all of it, but see what lines up with your philosophy of health and healing the best, and then go in that direction and really become a master of your art form. If you're not moving bones and sharing with people the reasoning behind it, then we're not really truly helping people. We're not really truly getting them to change their lifestyle from a medical sick model to a healthy, more holistic lifestyle, which will actually bring health for many years. If you're interested in chiropractic, it's not just schooling. It's really cool because it's a lifestyle and you get to do that with your family. You can change your family's life, your community's life. You can, help out so many people that you never thought were possible. So it really is more rewarding the more hands you get on people than not. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's like if you know somebody that could benefit from this, get them looked at. If not in our office, somewhere else, because you never know just by saying that what could you or say or think could change somebody's life tomorrow. That's basically what BJ said. It was one of his quotes, but I butchered it. So then at the end of the day, if just sharing my story with just one person could help change their health, then it's totally worth it. So thanks for this opportunity. Thanks for us for being able to share this with you, and we'll see you in the clinic. Keep cracking.